It is open, my friends. Battles have yet to begin. Laughter we had in gales and floods, but if not, at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
And it's been a week. Hi everyone, welcome back. Last week, we settled the details of Minnie almost dying, them retrieving a large piece of living metal out of the body and discovering that there's something else in there that BT can't see. It's just invisible to them. They've just put it in the glass vial, argued a little bit about whether or not who gets it, because it was inside someone else's body for a moment. And if you could follow that tragic logic, well, the person who blew up is the person who owned it, because it was in them. Where we start now is, let's say we're Sir Rodney getting back for that night. A little cleanup having been done, tables being brought back onto their four legs, and pieces put back into place. He looks around, stepping at the stairs. All right, who did this? What are you doing to my lab? Ultion, this is your fault. Did you blow up my lab?
Everybody blames Ultion.
I'm sorry, Dad. We had a party while you're... I mean, of course not.
I'd say it's about 60-40 Minnie and Mr. Tim's fault.
Ooh.
I decline any fault. Not that it matters, because the individual is now deceased, seemingly. But
Well, I mean, you were technically in the room with him as he escaped, so I'd say that's a good 40.
Hold on now, okay, use an
Any
individual.
witnesses would say it was you, not me.
Who are we talking about? What individual?
I dented the door.
Yes, I saw that. Impressive. But who are we talking about?
Prisoner.
Prisoner we took.
They did this. How?
Was it right
Sort of
numpty left?
improvised.
Left the door open. Next thing I know, kaboom.
And I wonder who that person was. Either way, he had an improvised explosive device, either inside of him or on him.
Or maybe it just was one. Stranger things have happened.
I am still lost and confused.
Anyway, they stole something out of my body, and we wanted you to have a look at it.
Stole something.
I'm just gonna toss it over.
I will
Please.
jump and reach for it, being too short to reach.
Monkey in the middle. This is a glass vial. Is there something?
Give it a shake.
Oh, there is something
So-
inside of it.
He can't see it either. That's interesting.
Well, whatever it is, I'll have to leave the investigations to someone else.
It's primordial. I tell Ultion.
He hands it back to... Actually, he gives it to Minnie. There you go.
Well, that's good
Grab
to
it.
know.
And I shove it in my little pocket.
And I teleport it to Ultion's backpack.
What?
You can't do that. You'll have to.
Okay.
Very keen to figure out what that was. I thought I patted him down and looked for all the explosive possible. Where did he have it? Well,
Looked like he just exploded.
inside.
Yeah.
That was very clear, but
If they know our actions, or at least can predict them in the short term, then that was the plan. For us to take him.
it would make sense. It is a little frustrating, but it makes sense.
Just sacked the bloke when he had the chance, but you, pivoting and pointing angrily at Ultion, wanted information.
And I think we got some.
At what cost?
A little bit of damage to the lab.
Yes, it's very damaged.
They're fine.
What happened? Your clothes are all messed up and bloodied. Everyone else looks fine.
Prestidigitation. I'm fine.
Still rips and tears. You need mending for that.
Shut up. Not bothered.
Well, a lab can be repaired. The door, that will be difficult. That was difficult to get. And I'm not sure if I can fix that through normal means. I'll try.
We have things tomorrow. We need to get rest.
Indeed we all do. I managed to get my hands on a copy of the bill that was presented. And by getting my hands, I mean I stole it. He pulls out a very large stack of papers. It's a tome, a massive, massive tome, and puts it on one of the tables, checks all the legs to make sure that it's actually going to hold the weight of this book. This is essentially it is a skinned as a trade deal, like an alliance of sorts with the Dominion. You know, remember that whole thing going on inside the toppers? First floor is there still too. It's very, very well worded. Inside are little clever disguises as to the use of the workforces. That is very clear that they are claiming the souls of the people for themselves. I mean, look at this. He points at one section where it very deliberately references the workforce as souls. To what means, I am not entirely sure. As to why they're even entertaining this, it's still a little beyond me. I am trying to work out their mindset. All I see is the logic behind not agreeing to this. People are a little panicked. And this looks good on the surface. Very good on the surface. Lucrative. Not just in wealth for the upper peoples, but also food for the bellies of the people in the lower realms. It almost feels like equality to them. I don't think it will bring it, but I have to dig more. Try to bring more understanding. And read this entire thing. There's over 2,000 pages. As my update, how did everything go for you all, yeah? You got your supplies? You went out and got information, eh?
I think it went pretty well. How do you guys feel?
I got a bunch of paint. Yeah.
I am ready to proceed forth.
Tomorrow's the meeting with the Frencher.
Yes! I have forgotten their name. I have to go check. I wish my notes were better organized sometimes. I think it was Dorshond?
That sounds familiar.
Unlike Snazboot, Mr. Timms does not care about people's names.
Let's roll with it. That sounds right. Can't remember what the guy's name that you already met with was. No, I think that was Dorshund. I think you're meeting with Ellie, the printer.
I wasn't there, so I didn't write it down.
Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. Ellie. Dorshund. Dorshund is the paint guy. Because Ellie is clearly at least inside my head, a feminine name. So, the guy you all met with. It's Dorshund. It's Ellie next. The printer. We're rolling with it.
And then the fabrics guy as well. I got both of those tomorrow, if I remember correctly.
Maybe that was I need to take better notes, y'all. It's been a while since we've met, you know.
I know my last entry was from almost a
Beryl.
month ago.
Beryl was the paints guy. Second ring, third floor. Yeah, those are the three names I have, and those are three different things. The fabrics, that was the missing key. The fabrics is Dorshund. Ellie is the painting, and Beryl was the paints dude, Jormund Beryl.
Yeah.
You've already met him.
I didn't realize that was a person's name. I did write that down.
Yeah, that's a person's name. There we go. That's confirmation. Because they did go see that guy. So, definitely that was the paints guy.
Alright, well, once all that's confirmed, I'm gonna head up to my room, get some rest. Very quick question for the DM. This is roughly how many orphanages would you say there are per level of Stronrith?
Stronrith? Oh, gosh. I can't put a number on that easily, mate. That would be something I'd have to think about ahead of time.
Many.
Unfortunately. There are many.
Unfortunately, that is my secondary plan for disseminating all the graffiti, and also I'm going to hire some kids to go pick up all of that fabric and deliver it in certain spots. That's what I'm going to do.
Weaponize street urchins?
Yes, I'm weaponizing youth. That's what I'm doing.
To weaponize the street urchins. Okay. Right.
Interesting tactic.
Okay. That's
because it's just going to take a little bit too long, I think, to break into the air circulation centers. So, I also have another plan for the paper.
Okay. that'll be something you'll have to tackle in the morning. So,
Yeah.
we could probably all hit that long rest button. So everyone
Ooh,
rests
that one.
for the day.
Except for me. Do not hit the long rest button ever.
So the cat
Manually
doesn't
reset.
nap. Interesting.
No, the mechanics wise, it messes up my sheet.
So the cat doesn't nap. Interesting.
Okay. Yes, the cat doesn't nap ever. That also is true, but I cannot hit the long rest button.
Well, this cat naps. This cat naps regularly.
But I can reset everything.
Those of you who do sleep wake up to the smell of freshly baked bacon. Baked? Yeah, you know what? Baked. They baked the bacon. And cooked eggs, pancakes. Nice little smorgasbord of food.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get some breakfast, and then
Yeah, there's a
What time are
can
those
of
meetings?
beans that's not been
Yes.
opened, just sitting on the counter with a can opener, waiting for you, Ultion, when you enter the room.
and I'm also gonna take a handful of bacon,
Nice.
and I'm just setting it without a plate on the table next to the can of beans with a spoon.
Everything's been
Um,
moved away perfectly.
What time are those meetings?
Those meetings, the first one, the fabrics, is going to be in the mid-morning, so like brunch time. And the second one with the printers is going to be in the afternoon.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm waiting for everybody else to get in there.
The rest of you are
Shadows only
awake
grabs
and-
bacon.
Yeah, there's a huge 2-inch hotel pan filled with bacon, because just for planned. It's like half a pig.
Mr. Timms is shaving up his face and the sides of his head as is normal, and then goes and eats a lot of bacon.
BT is watching Sir What's His Name a lot.
So Rodney, he is humming happily. He's got that gentle smile on his face.
I am trying to identify him now.
He
I'm
looks like a
using
human.
everything that I can. I know he looks like a human, but he's not.
He
Wait,
appears.
doesn't it look like a gnome?
Through primordials, through
That's Minnie.
he's my new project. I need to know what he is. Is he a primordial? Is he a god? Is he? He's not human.
He's Sir Rodney.
No, I'm not telling you guys
you need
this.
to know.
Anyway,
Examining and looking through, highly determined.
I use any energy necessary,
At a certain,
even if he notices. And I will take notice if he notices, because that tells me something as well.
at a certain point, all of you realize that BT's just staring at Sir Rodney, and the colorization in certain parts is fluctuating at times, as they switch in between using minor arcane magics to do something. For the three of you, you can roll some insight checks if you'd like to try to understand what BT's doing.
Insight. I got an 8.
An 8? Nah.
17 for me.
17?
23.
23. They're very intently watching Sir Rodney. With a 23, it's fierce determination, an absolute desire to understand something. With the 17, you just know that they're paying all attention on Sir Rodney. And after a while, Sir Rodney turns around, looks at you, BT, and like, You know it's rude to try to intrude on people, yes? Serves out some more bacon. Now, plans for the day. What are we all going to try to do?
Mhm.
I have an idea. We don't have a lot of time, and we need to work fast. So I want the four of you.
And this is Mr. Tim's Mini, Shadow, and Big Tin.
I want the four of you to start putting up graffiti around the city, starting in the lower level. I'll get you a supply of paint, but you work all day until the sun goes down.
When did you want me to infiltrate? There's limited time before they figure out that the identity I took is dead.
Yes, you'll need to do that today.
About that.
Otherwise, that identity will be forfeit.
I forgot about that.
Yes, go ahead and do that. As for me, I'll go to the meetings, but I need to make some stops along the way. I think I have an idea. I'll share with you later if it works.
Right.
I'll need some of the copies of that contract. I think I'm gonna print it. It'll be part of the information that's spread.
Why'd you hang out with us?
They didn't understand.
You're always
it
off
either.
doing your own thing. Why don't you ever want to come with us? Yesterday you split all us.
Do you have a better idea?
I think it's unwise for anyone to go it alone.
Then you and Mr. Timms can go in a pair.
Shadows very inconspicuously takes a crunch of bacon.
Yeah, and I'm opening all the cabinets during this.
Just opening them all, leaving them open?
No, opening them and then closing them. I'm looking for the jams.
Right, okay.
All of the jams.
That aside, Ultion, I need to advise against spreading the contract. It is very well written. Any dissemination of it is just going to give them a good reason to separate. It will fuel it. Unless you want to bring them all through a basic level of education as well, you are not going to be able to use that document as a convincing factor on your side. It is good they are keeping it private.
Fine.
If we had more time on this, I would say yes, there's a way around it, but it's going to be voted on at the end of this line.
I'm gonna pull out 2 copies of the list of things that the list of propaganda I want spread across Stronrith. And I'm gonna give one each to Mr. Timms and Minnie. Well, Big Tin, you might as well come with me if you, unless you were wanting to watch over this guy over here.
Well, I will ask you, Altian,
Hmm.
through silent communications. Do you really trust him?
I don't trust anybody. But this is the best we've got.
because he is definitely not. He's an outside force I don't know how to identify now.
But at least we know he's an outside force now.
I'll do whatever you want.
You go ahead and come with me.
Hell. I'm going to be attending the Senate meetings up above. See if I can get more information on this. This proposal is going to be put on the floor for arguing today. It's probably what we'll be focused on for the entire line. At the same time, I need to get more feelers out as well to this account holder meeting with the demonstration of what's going on in the second floor. Still very curious to what's going on there too. Well, sounds like we all have our day planned out, and it's going to be a good day, yes? No more explosions inside the lab, eh?
No promises.
I say nothing, but I put a jar of jam into my coat pocket.
But Dad, I wanted to have an. I mean, no, of course not. Of course not.
Very good. All right. He picks up a bagel. I'm off to my day. You all have fun?
As people are getting ready to, leave, what have you, put on their coats, last bites of jam. Mr. Timms is going to come over to Sir Rodney and softly say to him, painting is not why you asked me to come here. I'm a little confused.
It's a different approach than I was certainly expecting. But I'm sure he's got his reasons.
Very well.
I'll double your pay.
Well, in that case, to painting.
Most expensive painter in Grantinan right now.
Korag leaves to go paint graffiti.
I follow him.
Wobble wobble. And they waddled away to go paint graffiti all of the day. While you're walking out, Minnie, Sir Rodney is a little ways down the road, but you get a message from him saying, when you get back, do you mind checking into whatever is inside that fire? I would very much like to know.
I do a little salute and just assume he registers it somehow. Whether that's a reflection in a shop window or something, doesn't matter. I just assume he gets it.
3 seconds later, after waiting to see if he gets it, his hand just goes up and does a little wave. He never looked back. Probably just an assumption.
Okay. Along the way to the first meeting, while we are dressed up as a homeless urchin and a raggedy Great Dane.
Yes, let's start with
Me
the
and
first
Big
meeting.
Ten. Well, how long do I have? Do I have enough time to make a couple stops real quick?
You've maybe... It's early in the morning, so you might have some time. Has to be a quick stop.
Okay.
Because traveling around the city takes time to do. Big city.
Okay.
Or like a mountain, really.
I'm gonna stop by. I'm gonna stop by an orphanage that's along the way.
Okie dokie. How are you and the Great Dane approaching this orphanage?
I'm just gonna have Big Ten hold back. Not sure if there's any kids outside, but either way, If they're not, I am going to zip line my way up to a window and wait until the coast is clear.
Broad
and
daylight?
Get someone's attention. Well, it's going to be
On the-
around I'm going to go around into the alley, like around the way. I'm not going to do it on the street. I'm going to go on the backside of the building.
Give me a stealth check. As you go your way up.
Oh, I have advantage on stealth checks. I forgot. Let's go. Okay. 24.
24. Oh, yeah. You snag a point on a second story area of this orphanage. There are kids out in the front who are just playing around, but there are minders, handlers, people who help take care of the children inside the orphanage. You get up there and taking a look inside, just lines of currently empty beds, save for one, which has just a little boy who's looking down at a graphic novel, comic book.
I'm gonna tap on the window and I'm gonna pull up my mask and stuff. Because it's literally just like sitting around my neck, hidden underneath like the ruffleage of the
foliage. Yeah. He looks over and gives a bit of a shocked look. Looks towards the door and closes his book and hides it underneath the bed frame or the mattress.
I'm gonna hold up a gold coin.
He's about 10 feet from the window, hasn't opened it, but you can hear him through it. As he says,
Warden's told me not to trust you.
I have a job for you and some of your friends.
Why do you look like that?
Why do you look like that?
This is my face. I didn't choose to put on a fake one.
Exactly.
So you choose to live a lie?
No, you misunderstand. This is my face.
No, it's
If you don't trust me, that's fine. But consider it.
We don't need your money. We need
I'm
food.
going to set down. I'm going to set down 2 of the spray paint canisters that I've made. And I'm going to set 2 gold coins down on a piece of paper. That way it's held there. And I'm going to say to him,
This can get you food. And if what I'm here to do gets done, there will be way more food on the way. And this will help. Consider it.
I'm going to rappel down. Zzz.
give me a persuasion check.
Oh, baby. What's my persuasion? Oh, well, it's 18 because it's a +0.
Once you get down and reunite with BT, you turn around and see the windows being crept open. 2 small hands take the contents and pull them in.
The paper has instructions and then some phrases at the bottom.
Cool.
And I'm going to continue on the way. And I'm going to be doing stuff like that the rest of the day. I am getting as many child soldiers as I can.
Okay. Let's real quick go over to your fabrics
Yes.
meeting with Dorshand. We can go through that briefly. So Ronnie's the one who's hooked you up with this connection. So it's going to go quite smoothly. So what the question is, what are you looking for? What are you looking for from this guy? We'll make him a little bit of a, this kind of a voice. What do you want? What do you want in here? Hey, you're taking time out of my day. What do you want?
Give him a offer he can't refuse.
Dorshan, so, okay. I'm going to say to him, and since I'm in disguise, I'm just going to say, I need as much green fabric as you can manage. Cut into triangular shapes. At about this dimension. And I'm going to slide across a piece of paper. Also, note the holes and where they belong.
Phrasing.
Yeah, guys, note the holes and where they belong.
He looks at this. He can get you a good chunk of fabric.
Roughly how much?
Maybe enough to supply a fifth of a percent of the population of Stronrith. Stronrith. I said Stronrith. I don't know why.
Okay, and how much is that going to cost me?
That for basic scratchy woolly type fabric. Oh. Let me do some maths inside my head. Because I'm having to make up all the numbers. You know what? Roll 2d6.
I will roll 2d6. Total of 10.
10? It's going to cost maybe $1,000. Including
Okay.
all the labor. So in gold.
And in gold, I've got some to spare. Okay. Looking through his fabrics, what are the 3 colors of green that are closest to my mask? Because I'm gonna get I need a lot more than just that.
You
Fabric.
could fabric. You could probably. I mean, with the off colors that are closer to your shade, you could probably double the number, so make it up to $2,000. That would be taking his supplies, and with this as well, you're also dealing in other fabric dealers throughout other levels. Like this is the point of contact, so you don't have to visit every single one of them. From most of Stronrith, you'll be pulling out that specific color. One thing you'll actually, I'll just even tell you it inside his wonderful little voice. Your color's not really liked or enjoyed inside the city right now, okay? People don't like you. A lot of people don't like you. And the color, that green says you. So they said no. So it's, no money from it. So we don't stock it.
That's fine. This will do. I'm going to have some employees of mine coming around to pick up and deliver these.
Employees? You're going to have to define employees.
You'll know them when you see them.
No, I certainly will not know him when I see him. Do you know how many times I hear that in a day? Twice. Okay, twice already. I've heard that twice. Not including you. 3 now. So, will I know him when I see him? Probably not. Which one? Yeah. Get the stress out. Take a deep breath. Do a little sigh.
There will be a lot of them. A lot of them.
That one
So
is
separate them out into boxes. About 500 per box.
Okay, will they know what they're looking for?
Yes,
Okay,
they will.
great. Wonderful. If your product gets lost or taken by someone else, not my fault.
Just let our mutual friend know when you're done.
Yeah, I'll let him know.
I'm gonna set down the $2,000. Woof,
Woof.
folks.
That's a lot of gold.
That's a lot of
So I
money.
have $5,000 left. Okay.
He takes the money and it'll be a few days. It's gonna be a joint effort. Especially at these
I'll
quantities.
need a few days. Okay. Back to what I was doing before. Instead of
Okay.
but also with the paint along the same side, if I find kids, especially older kids, if they're like hitting the age where they're about to be out of the orphanage, they're the ones I'm going to hire to be the pickup and delivery boys, and I'm going to hire a lot of them.
You randomly turned on your voice, so you did your whole voice. I think
No, I extended it too.
That's
Sorry,
fine.
guys.
That was still amusing. That's why I just let it go through. But go ahead and give me a general D20 roll.
I shall. 18.
18.
Don't know if high is good.
There's something strange you encounter in every single one of these places. None of the orphanages seem to enjoy your presence. The kids are always uncomfortable whenever you come by. They're always incredibly hesitant to actually even listen to you. And a few of them, they just run off and scamper away as soon as they see your mask. When you get to, I think it's the 5th floor that the printer person's on, just 2 floors up, it gets worse. To the point where you actually have to run away from one of the locations as the orphans started immediately screaming for the guards.
Cool.
You do get a few though. No, not as much as you wanted though, but you do get some that will agree to it. But they don't fully explain their hesitancy. What you get is a lot of the wardens say you're dangerous. One of them even says you're the reason why we're starving. You get the sense that they believe you've caused much of the grief that's going on inside their lives right now.
Okay. I'm going to add another thing to the list of things to write on the walls there.
Well,
I just keep going.
as you keep going, let's move over to the people who are spreading out some wonderful little propagandas right now. Where are you all focusing? Where are you guys trying to go? Minnie and Mr. Timms.
I would like to say that before we actually exited the premises of the safe house, I did the change shape thing again. Looking pretty much like myself, just human height and human colored, rather than very small and grey.
Nice.
But features still pretty much the same. I'm also going to use my mage hand as just an extra painting hand while we're at it. I assume anywhere there's an advertisement or a blank wall, if there is such a thing as a billboard, I would like to send the mage hand up there as well.
Just because we're at the turn of an era, technically, in technological terms and phrases, billboards, they used to not be a thing. They're a thing now, purely because you mentioned them. Yeah, there's a couple of billboards. Just started up. Someone decided to just invest in infrastructure in random places and then sell the right for people to advertise their product on top of it. Just out of the blue. And it turns out they're doing pretty well, from your understanding. More of them are getting erected in places, so...
Mr. Timms will stay near Minnie, but he would like to. He's going to go for quality work rather than quantity work. And so he's going to find a hard to get to spot that won't easily be painted over and just make the finest of graffiti.
The Banksy of Strongrith.
The Banksy of Strongrith. All right. So then the two of you give me stealth checks. We'll go with those first.
27.
Stealth. Oh, I have advantage. I get to roll it again.
Invisible. Just
Okay,
go.
there we go. 21.
21. Also. Hard to see. Now, give me either sleight of hand or performance checks. One of those two.
I don't suppose I could get advantage by just taking a long time with it.
It'll increase your DC, but sure.
Okay. For my sleight of hand, I also got a 21.
Nice. Good, even rolls.
Sleight of hand, 21.
21's around the house with a 27 to top it all off like a cherry on top of an ice cream sandwich. That sounds delicious. Should have gone with Sunday split, not ice cream sandwich. That's a weird comparison, but it works still. You disseminate and spread various of this. What level are you focusing on?
What's a thought?
I think we're going to do a little bit on every level that we can access. And then once we determine we can go no further, I would say we probably do the most of it there. So that's
Okay.
probably going to be what, like 4, 7? I forget how many
In-
floors there are.
There are 17, and in a single day, you cannot access 12 and above. So that limits it quite a nice amount. But they're also very, very wide. So in a single day, you won't be able to make too much of an impact with that kind of thing. You'd basically be able to get off a lift or get off your area, tag a single building in close proximity, then to hop in line to get on again and go up a level to only tag one in each level. And then by the
Oh, the
time
queues
you're
are that
ending
bad?
it, the queues are pretty bad. This place is technically overpopulated due to the fact that the rebellion has forced a lot of the populace that still believe in the Grantinans to evacuate to these central cities. And this is one of the highest locations with that refugee force.
Okay. Korag, do you have an alternate strategy then? Because I actually don't like the way mine's shaking out.
Pick one. Do it well.
I'm gonna say 7. No?
7?
6.
6, okay. Heading out to floor 6, you spread some... what did I do with my pen? Some great graffiti and propaganda all over the place. In broad daylight, but with your stealth checks, that's perfectly fine. You still managed it. As to their effects, that's what your performance or sleight of hand checks were for, which was 21s around the board. And that, you have to wait to see what kind of effect it has. Time will tell in that tale. But that would be a full day of strong gandering around. Let's do the next encounter with the printer, real quick. Who is on
Alright.
floor 5? You get over to them. There's a larger, much larger building. And when you get inside, there's a sound that the two of you... First off, the receptionist absolutely sees the Great Dane and goes, "Oh, aren't you just such a good boy? What's a good name? What's the name for this lovely beast you've got?" Oh no.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Marmaduke.
Okay. Oh, Marmaduke, aren't you just a lovely one? Reaches out to try to pet you, BT.
Yeah, just act the dog.
So go, oh, the scrooches. Very strong bone work. Peculiar, but cute. Right. Oh! I think we're about to get a potato wedge. Good old sergeant. Oh, look at that face. Look at that face.
What you doing, Bonus? What you doing, Bonus? Oh, and hi, Raven. Both my dogs in here. Distracted. Sorry.
No, you're
Sorry.
good. That's full distraction. That's what the
Get out of here.
secretary's doing right now.
Get out of here. Both of you. Out.
Oh, and I presume that you are the 2 o'clock appointment. I'll go let the mistress know. There's the sound in the background, though. There's a very rhythmic sound of metal moving. And Ultion, this would be new to you. Usually whenever you walk into a printing area, what you would hear is the scribbling. A bunch of scribes writing, and the sound of writing just echoing through the entire building. This is not your typical printing location. After a minute of waiting inside this private room, the secretary comes back out and like, the mistress will see you now. Right this way. And takes you both to a study, which door opens, and on the inside is a modestly dressed elvish woman who is not wearing copious amounts of jewelry or looking super gaudy like all the other people that you've seen so far. This Ultion and BT would be the equivalency of what you would associate as a commoner inside Pallius. They're not flaunting any kind of wealth. But as soon as you walk in, she looks at the two of you with a very straight face. Notions at the door. It's a gentle request for you to all to close it once you're in.
I do.
From what he told me, you need to use my device. Now, he made a deal that I don't know if he told you all about. If you don't want to agree with it, that's perfectly fine. I only agreed to it so that I could see with my own eyes. Is that a disguise you can take off? Or are you just permanently looking like a Great Dane while you're outside?
I look down at the boy, at my Marmaduke, my sweet boy with the jowls.
I'm not breaking character. I don't know what's going on.
She sits back.
I don't trust anybody.
Perhaps if I show you what I have, you might be more agreeable just to let me see.
Pulls out a small device that you immediately peg BT as being Arctech from the Gene Wars. Puts it down on the table. She continues looking at you.
Anything now?
Why are we here for this meeting? What is this meeting? Talking to Ultion.
Out loud or inside your head?
Inside my head.
Okay.
The papers. She's the printer.
So why does she know who you are? Or is she supposed to know who you are, who I am?
I do believe the jig is up. Big Tim.
Well, I don't disguise myself this, so I can't take it off and put it on.
I take the device off of the side of Big Tin.
Poofs away. That false facade of a dog over there, over your body. Oh. I can see the minute differences. It's very good design. Do not worry, your presence here was known before Rodney came and talked to me. He's not the only one who has connections. I don't care what you're doing. Don't get me wrong in that. You're paying. In fact, actually, pushes over the device. Sign of good faith. I genuinely do not mean you any harm. I just needed to know if the rumors were correct. It looks like they are.
What rumors? I finally say.
Rumors that there's another one of you running around somewhere else. And I mean you. Reports have
Where's the
said
other
that
one?
your companion of old, someone you used to run with, Teflesekatan, was seen in the northern borders with what everyone said was BT, Big Tin, a strange steel predator that travels with them all. But much smaller. Now you look different, yes, but the signs are there. As much as I would like to know how you did it, I respect the fact that everyone has their secrets. What is it you need printed?
I'm going to reach into my bag of holding and pull out my manuscript and down on the table. You'll have a couple days. I need as many as you can get me.
That entirely depends on how deep your pocket is. I can... How many pages is this? How many pages is your manuscript?
The manuscript itself is... The manifesto is like 200 pages, but it's got plenty of other pages that are just the photos of the second floor, stuff like that. All of the evidence that we've gathered. So probably about, in total, like 225, probably.
25 or so? Okay. I only have a couple operating devices. Currently, I can maybe produce 200 copies a day. Once I get the engravings put in place. Have you seen the device? Did he tell you anything about it?
No.
Oh, well then I should give you a tour as well. Let you know exactly what it is that you are purchasing for. And while we're at it, I'll let you know a little bit about myself as well. Seeing as I did walk in knowing more about you. Well, you walked into my cabin, technically. She gets up from around the table, and I do mean it. This device, you can have it if you'd like. You've probably already encountered it, it's pretty common, but...
What is it?
It's
Scan it. What is it?
a standard projector. It projects images.
But it is ancient Arctech.
It is ancient Arctech. But one of the minimal
So,
versions of it, but it is ancient Arctech, yeah.
well, it serves the purpose of being ancient Arctech. I go over, I put a paw on it, and absorb it.
Fascinating.
What did you mean by you only had a couple of machines working?
Sorry?
What did you mean by you only had a couple of machines working?
Right, yes. Of course, back to the purpose. Should you ever want to learn more about what you are and what you can do, I would be happy to help. But first, relations. Let me give you a tour and tell you who I am. That tour will be until next week, so we're going to break for the week.
See you
Good
next week.
luck!
The end may have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. May peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles and shouts.